Hey.
Intentionally foul here. Here they go to Knecht. He'll try to tie. Yeah. Dalton Knecht right between the eyes for the rookie from Tennessee.
Alright, y'all, I just got done watching through the game between the Lakers and the Suns from Thursday night, aka the Dalton Knecht breakout game. Now, what's funny is, since this game has happened, there have been a whole bunch of buzz, especially on NBA Twitter, about Dalton Knecht and how, you know, he's apparently been amazing in the preseason, despite the fact that this was actually his one really only good game, at least offensively, just looking at the box scores. Overall, he's shooting 18 of 50 from three-point land on the preseason at 36%, which, you know, isn't amazing, right around league average, but that does actually place him 4th in the entire NBA in total three-pointers made, so he's definitely taking plenty of shots. I imagine that's what JJ Redick has envisioned for him for this role on the Lakers team. And with the discourse that came after this big 35-point performance against the Suns, I do feel like especially some Lakers fans were getting a bit ahead of themselves in what they expect Dalton Knecht to be in his career. Because if y'all don't remember, he was in this most recent draft class. I believe he was picked 17th overall, but the reason he was drafted later than what his talent might suggest is because of the fact that he was a 4-year college player. He's already 23 years old, meaning that, you know, he's already gone through a lot of his developmental process as a basketball player. But I don't want that to come across like I am trying to hate on Dalton Knecht. He is going to be a very fine NBA player, and in fact, he's actually exactly what this Lakers team needed this offseason. Because I think we all are of the same mindset that the Lakers had a very quiet offseason when it came to adding talent to the team. They mostly just re-signed their current players. I know people are saying that, like, oh, Gabe Vincent and Jared Vanderbilt are essentially free agent signings due to the fact that they barely played last year. In reality, you know, they actually did add Dalton Knecht to the draft. They also added Bronny James, had to mention him. All of that is to say that this version of Dalton Knecht, he's already a solid player that has been through a lot of trials and tribulations through his college career, and the fact that he's already showing that he's going to be a capable scorer in the NBA is a huge positive sign for this Lakers team that is in desperate need of other good role players to surround LeBron and Anthony Davis with. So obviously the main thing that Knecht adds to this team is a shooting threat, which again, the Lakers were one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the NBA last season. And the thing that's nice about Knecht is you can run plays for him. Obviously JJ Redick has been very vocal already about how he's drawn up plays nonstop for Dalton Knecht since the moment he was drafted to the Lakers. So not only is he great in catch and shoot opportunities, you can also spot him up in transition, you can put the ball in his hands and let him pull up from the three-point line. He also has had some middies throughout these preseason games. But again, overall, just the fact that the Lakers now have one of the better three-point shooters, at least in terms of role players in the NBA, is just a huge addition to this bench. And what I also like about Knecht, he didn't show it off too much in this game specifically, but he is not afraid to drive the ball to the rim. You know, that is a very typical trait that is seen in a lot of, you know, three-point specialist type guys where, you know, they mostly just shoot threes. The only time they really go in the paint is to, like, you know, rebound or drive and kick or anything that does not include trying to score the ball at the rim. But Dalton Knecht is actually a pretty strong driver of the basketball. Even had one play in this game where he tried to dunk on Mason Plumlee, I believe it was, got fouled, got to the free throw line. So all very good traits to see from someone who could potentially be more than just a three-point specialist for this team. And then obviously the other big question with Knecht will be his ability to stay on the court on the defensive side of the ball. And again, this is another question that usually comes up with these shooting specialist type of players. And I think at this point it's safe to say that, you know, Knecht is not obviously the best defensive player, but again, he does enough that he can stay on the court and not get played off or picked on a whole bunch. Had in this game specifically one really nice possession on Bradley Beal where he was isolated and actually ended up blocking his mid-range shot attempt. There are other plays where he's hustling back on transition, getting into passing lanes, all really good things you like to see from, again, this type of role player, three-point shooting guy. Overall, when looking at this current roster for the Lakers, they have a pretty solid starting five. I know the stats been thrown around, but even last year with Darvin Ham, there was one specific starting lineup. I want to say it was D'Lo, Austin Reeves, Hachimura, LeBron, and AD. That team actually produced a really good record when they were the starting five together. The issue with the Lakers is when you look at their bench, because from there you have Gabe Vincent, who is question marks right now, Jared Vanderbilt, who is a bunch of question marks right now, Jalen Hood-Schifino has been not getting anything done and since being drafted a couple years ago. So if someone like a Dalton Knecht can step up and be a solid enough role player that he can play every night, maybe he can continue this sort of, give you 20 to 25 points, maybe once every week or 2 weeks. Anything like that is going to be a huge help to this Lakers team that is trying its best to contend in the strong Western Conference. Plus, at the end of the day, if there was one NBA coach that I would have to predict would be able to get the most out of someone like Dalton Knecht, I think JJ Redick would be a pretty solid answer. As for some other things that stood out to me from watching this game, another quote that goes viral every single season in this preseason time frame is that Lakers head coach will always say that they want AD to shoot more threes, and even though it has not been extremely pretty this offseason with AD shooting 5 of 17 to this point, he did knock down 4 of them in the first quarter here, so maybe it was just a rough shooting slump to start the preseason and he's finding the stroke. I'm very curious just to see how long JJ Redick can continue to get Anthony Davis to shoot the 3 ball, because while yes, in the bubble, obviously he shot the ball very well, but since then it has been very low shooting percentages for him from beyond the arc. So again, I'm just curious to see what happens there. And then one other name that really stood out to me was Max Christie. He's been getting a lot of hype from JJ Redick and other Lakers coaches throughout this preseason. To this point in his career, he's been essentially a non-factor, did not even see the court that much with Darvin Ham last season, but he started the game tonight. Maybe he was just the fill-in for LeBron, who was getting rest night. But regardless, I really enjoyed seeing what Christie brought to the team, as he brought a little bit of everything. He was a bit of a Swiss Army knife. He was knocking down open shots. He was playing defense. He was driving to the rim, driving kick, driving dump. He's another young guy on this roster who, with a bit more playing time, might actually be able to show that he can be a contributing factor to this team and help shore up a lot of the questions on this bench. All in all, a very common idea amongst many NBA fans throughout this preseason has been that the Lakers are one of the more volatile teams when trying to predict what's going to happen this NBA season. I've seen plenty of people say that they could be a top 4 seed in the West and have home court advantage, while I've also seen plenty of people say that they can miss out on the play-in entirely. As of now, where I stand, I think that they have a decent chance of making the playoffs. I do want to believe in JJ Redick. I want to see him succeed. But like most other people are saying, this season's probably going to come down to the health of LeBron and Anthony Davis, who last season were wonderful. Each played over 70 games, or I think, somewhere around there. I doubt they're able to maintain that this season, but I also think they'll get at least a little bit more help from their supporting cast. Regardless, the Lakers are always entertaining in at least one way or another, whether that be positive or negative. And again, at the very least, Dalton Knecht will be an intriguing player to keep tabs on for this season. And just to see if he's actually able to maintain a rotation spot and help this team get to their playoff aspirations. But that's all I got for this one. As always, if you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of those beautiful things, and I'll see y'all in the next one.